All right, we got Slim covering up them naps. Dame Dollar, a.k.a. Hetero Russ, getting ready for the showdown final meeting between these two in the regular season. Dame, that's from 30. Has there been anybody hotter in the league than this man entering his name into the MVP conversation? Yeah, I said, here we go, high pick and roll. What do? You go over, there's too much space. You go under, he makes you pay, cooking. Now, the second part of this 1-2 duo, CJ McCollum gets to the rim so irky-jerky, you got to respect the mid-range pulley. KD, it was his show. With no Steph Curry and 5 rotation players sitting out, it was all KD all the time, and he got it done. High pick-and-roll action, mid-range, pull-up. But the question was, could Golden State survive when he would take a rest? Damian Lillard just so strong. He has everything working. I do question, could he be peaking too soon? Maybe save some of this for the playoffs, Dame, or not. Draymond's lone 3 of the night really did struggle offensively coming off the triple-double. And then Slim's so good. Look at him break the laws of basketball. Looking down at the line before he releases, it didn't matter. 6 threes on the night, and he was carrying them. Look at Golden State, the lead, and then Klay somehow even manages to make a layup, a jump shot. Klay got up more shots than he normally does, 25 on the night, trying to fill in for his backcourt star. This time it's Shabazz Napier. Quietly, one of the better third guards in the league, 4-point play, CJ McCollum, and it was absolutely raining in the Pacific Northwest on Friday night. Portland's 16 threes overwhelming the undermanned Warriors to win the season series and continue the win streak. Dame time. All right, man. So most of us saw this coming, right? You know, with Steph being out, actually 5 of the 10 rotation players out on the back end of a back-to-back against maybe the hottest team in the NBA. And I want to start off by giving Portland credit. They are good, man. They are legit. They're much deeper with Shabazz Napier, and that boy got the juice, man. He's had it since the days of Connecticut. He's undersized, but high IQ, and he can shoot, and that works. Evan Turner gave them a lot. Ed Davis, 15 rebounds, 7 offensive rebounds. And he's good. Don't get me wrong. He's good, but let's be clear. It's the McCollum and Dame effect that allows Ed Davis to do what he does. Because Golden State was so concerned with the three-point shooters, he killed us on the offensive glass. He and Nurkic had 4. They combined for 11 offensive rebounds. And anybody could have seen that was a huge problem in this game. First quarter, KD came out, and I like how you notice the Stephless Warriors, there's a little bit of a different attitude. They're a little more, there's an Ewing effect going on where they're a little more dialed in, right? And there's a little more grinded out attitude. And KD came in and put his head down. I think he had like 14 in the first quarter, went to the line, and he kind of said a statement like, yo, we're going to be in this game. I think they identified the first quarter as a real dangerous period of time where Portland jumps on teams. And so they kept it close. Quinn Cook was decent. Right? He had a couple jumpers off the pick and roll, and I thought he did a fine job. He missed some shots that you'd love for him to knock down, but I'm not going to hold him accountable. The effort was there. It was fine. You're not going to make them all the time, especially given the circumstances, right? There is a lot of pressure on him now. Zaza came into the game in the second quarter, man, and he's really becoming unplayable. I hate to say it. I know he is a very polarizing player amongst Golden State fans. And shout out my Georgians, man. I've got love for Zaza, but I have to call it how I see it. And he didn't play in the second half, and it was for good reason, man. It's just a struggle with those guards and him getting put in the pick and roll. He was being exploited, and it's just becoming problematic. We saw a glimpse of Damian Jones, and I think during the stretch with everybody out, I don't understand why he doesn't play. Steve Kerr, Bob Myers, I give him a few minutes, right? I just don't understand the pecking order and what's holding back Damian Jones from getting a glimpse, an opportunity here in year 3 already, right? It's not like he's a rookie, man. He's been putting in the work. Another thing that really bothered me, so Draymond only had 7 shot attempts. Klay had 19. I believe. KD finished with 40 points, obviously, and did it from everywhere. But when he was out of the game, it was rough going. Obviously, no David West, no Iguodala to initiate the offense. And Klay took a lot of forced shots, and it was tough, man. But my thing is if Nick Young, okay, let me ask you this. Why is Nick Young in the NBA? Why did the Warriors go in to get him? To shoot the basketball, right? He took 4 shots on the night. And that's just unacceptable. He is basically utterly useless if he is not shooting the ball. And that's not all on Nick Young. There were several times where there would one more swing or rotation or kick out and he would have had the shot. For whatever reason, they're not looking for him. And for him to have 4 shot attempts, it's just you might as well not even play him. So that was very frustrating. And, you know, I'm going to say something here now. The story of this game in the second half, right, was the fouls. Fouling 3-point shooters. Sean Livingston, the biggest culprit. And I was very frustrated with him because the one at the end of the third, he should have had better sense on the one to start the fourth. But overall, what's going on in that situation is the Warriors are kind of over trying, right? You know how it's like if you go dancing or you're out dancing, fellas, this is always weird for us, right, too, because women can kind of cut loose with no, they don't get judged as much, right? But it's like if you dancing, there's a level where you're trying too hard and you just look silly, right? There's a medium that you have to find. Now, I say that and I get back to the basketball. In the past, we've seen Golden State not try enough. So I'm not going to complain too much about the over trying that was going on in the second half of this basketball game with JaVale, Sean, really everybody on those closeouts. But at the same time, in the back of my mind, all I could think about was the Houston Rockets. Because they're the Trailblazers essentially on steroids with all the 3-point shooting and the offensive firepower. And who else in the league is better at drawing fouls and cheap buckets than James Harden and Chris Paul? So this is something that they're going to have to think about, strategize, and work on, because defending the 3 without fouling is going to be a huge storyline in these playoffs this season. Minnesota, Sunday afternoon, I expect a bounce back game. Now, Houston lost tonight in Toronto. Their 17-game streak is over. So essentially, this changes nothing in the standings. We're still a half game behind Houston, but I low-key kind of want them to, like I said in my last video, I kind of want them to bow out of this race. It is what it is. I don't think it's in their DNA, even if they say it. You saw Draymond say, well, we don't really care about it. We know you, Dre. We know you, and it's not in their DNA, I think, to give into this race, especially with the rivalry that's building between the Rockets. But I would like them to do so. I expect to win against Minnesota on the road, and I think it's fun. I want to see more of Quinn Cook, and I want to see Damian Jones. Zaza, I love you, but it's time to sit down, baby. If some circumstances call for you in the playoffs, that's fine. Let's give the young buck Damian Jones a shot Sunday against an athletic front court in Minnesota. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. I'm out, y'all.